Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends review on the Marvel Legends celebrating 85 years Odin Deluxe figure. Just look at this thing. This is the figure that I've been looking forward to the most. I just already love the design. I got to play with it a little bit over at San Diego Comic-Con this year. So I already kind of know how this figure works. I am familiar with it, but I'm excited to get it in hand once again and have even more fun with this figure. Anyway, the packaging looks great. Love the window over here. On the side, not a whole lot going on right over there. Nice artwork of Odin right there. So we couldn't really find a specific reference image in that live stream with Sentry and X-Men 87 where he called out the Bowen statue. So I don't know where this artwork is from, but it is the closest looking art piece to this actual figure right over here. You can see that art piece blown up on the back once again. There's a read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. Get the Celebrating Marvel for 85 years logo on the top. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so. The Toy Snowman. You can get your Marvel Legends over there along with your G.I. Joe Classified, Transformers, and a whole bunch more. They have a point system, so make sure you use my link down in the description below. Get some points, get some figures, link down below. And here's the Borson out of the packaging, and he looks awesome. I love the aesthetics of this figure. So many details to look at. That's probably gonna be the word of the video, is details. Oh, so much to see over here. And I love that we have these different display options. That also makes it a lot of fun. But damn, I love how ornate this thing looks. It looks incredible. Is it the best articulated figure? Hell no, it's not. It's missing some stuff, and we'll get into that for sure. So I have my gripes. I see a couple of little marbling spots here and there, but for the most part, this thing just looks amazing, and I think that's what Hasbro was trying to go for. But anyway, we'll get a closer look at the figure itself, but first, let's get a closer look at some of the accessories. So we have the different display options for the Odin headgear, but I wanted to look at these interchangeable hands. You have one right fist hand, you have one left open hand that have the vertical hinges, and then these have the horizontal hinges. These are the weapon holding hands. These two weapons we've seen before, these ravens we have seen before. This one right here actually has some paint on the back of it, which is a new detail. We didn't get this last time, but they both don't have it. It would have been kind of neat, but I'm not really that bummed out. It's hard to get these stuck on his shoulders, so I only used them, for like one little photo shoot pose, and they still look good. We've seen them before, but yeah, they're just tricky to get balanced on there. And then, yeah, this we saw with the Build-A-Figure Odin from several years back, and it's got a very dull beige color to it instead of gold. I like that there's no marbling in it or anything, but I don't really like the color choice. Oh, I have the Build-A-Figure Odin Scepter right over here to compare. So this one, yeah, definitely has more of a copper or bronze color to it. This is still more of a gold color. It's just not as shiny. You could even see next to the fist right over here, right? It's not as much of a vibrant gold. This sword we've seen before as well. I think this was Heimdall's sword. If I'm mistaken, correct me, but it looks beautiful. I love the shiny blue that you can see right there. The handle itself has some different color paint on it too, like a bronze color. We get more gold right here. The plastic choice for the gray. It's not silver as I'd prefer, but it's still got a little bit of shimmer in that gray, so I do dig that. And just to look at some of the details on these hands, you could see a little bit of marbling in that gold plastic. It's not enough to really bug me because it's sculpted with so many lines and details that it doesn't stand out too much, so it's not a big bother, but you can, if you want to look for those marbling points, you can find them. So here's a nice tight shot of Odin's face, which is something that you don't really notice so often when you're posing the figure around because there's so much other stuff to look at, but I think they did a good job with this patch right here. I like that little detail on that gold patch. It looks really nice. The eye looks beautiful. I like the flesh tone and the wrinkles that we could see over here. It looks really good, and this is the hair option head. So you have different interchangeable options over here for the heads, and then you can see his whole back fur, right? You can see his removable fur. I'm just going to keep calling it the back fur or just fur. But yeah, you can take this off right here, and it just works better having the hair laying down underneath it. You could try to have it rest on top, but it works kind of weird. And when the hair's like this, it really does hinder the articulation. Like, you can't move the head much at all, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like if you try to get the hair coming over the top of it, and it just looks weird from the front. Like, it doesn't sit right, so you have to do that to get that to work. But yeah, you could go ahead and take that off, and you could also use this head sculpt right here, which is my second favorite. And again, the hair looks really nice the way it's painted right here. You see a dark gray mixed in there with the lighter highlights, so I like that. And then you just put this right back on top of it. And we have display option number 2, which looks great. I really love this gold right over here that they used for this. The helmet looks awesome, man. I guess maybe a little, I don't know, uneven right here. I gotta pull this that way, I guess, a little bit. But for the most part, I think this looks great. I really do like it a lot. It does look badass. And I think this is the one that they had on for the Bowen statue, unless I'm wrong about that. But that's what this figure is based off of. And then I was able to confirm that with Dwight over at San Diego Comic-Con. Then you can see some comic images of Odin, not with this exact attire from this figure, but you can see how similar it is, how it feels similar to these other designs, and I think it works, man. It's not exactly like any of these other ones, but it works for me. But yeah, while this looks badass, I do prefer the last option, which doesn't have hair on the back and allows for the most articulation, and it has the most paint detail on it, and it's this one right here with the horns, and I love this one. That one is my favorite. I just can't help but love all the details. You get all these nicks and scratches right here in the horns, all these little ornaments throughout over here. Ooh, is that a little paint splotch? Yeah, sadly it is a little paint splotch. Ugh. Oh well, I'll try to pick that off later at some point. I just noticed it now, but yeah, I really like this option, and that looks really good right there. So really digging that quite a bit, man. I love that, and I love how the rest of the figure looks, man. Look at these shoulder pads. Shoulder pads look great. Nice bronze color mixed in with the gold. Same thing with the chainmail going throughout. Get little gashes and everything. This whole thing looks incredible. I love that. Very Norse looking design. And then same thing right here on the belt. Damn, man. I don't really have to say much. You could see it. And then you could see a little bit of swirly right over here in the metallic blue, but it still looks really good to me. I do like it. Like I said, you can find some spots where there's swirling. I like the bone color right here for these spikes. Those look really good. We have that decorated on this side as well. More nicks and dents and everything in the armor. Really like that. We have the soft goods cape, by the way, which, yeah, of course, I'd like to have a bendy wire, but damn, I'm happy that they went with the soft goods cape. It just works for me. The back of the figure looks great, too. Nice details right there. Nice leathery sections right here with the brown parts. Well, this is more of like oh no, it looks like leather. Yeah, it looks all leathery right here. This looks awesome having the gold over the brown right there. I love that. And then, yeah, we have some more bone. It's a little asymmetry right there with the tip of that horn knocked off. You can get some more bone right over here along the sides. More gashes in the gold. Very little marbling going on here with these gold plastic pieces. I really appreciate that. Nice chainmail detail right there around the ankles. That also goes down to the bottom of the boot right there. I like that. No treads or anything. I wouldn't expect it, but you do get peg holes. And then here's a look at the top of the boot. And I want to get a look at the back of the figure just one more time, because there is quite a bit of paint on it and a lot of design to look at. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's hard to mention every single little detail, but the beard has some really nice paint on it as well. So anyway, the head articulation with the other display options, you are not going to move that head around. That hair is stuck behind the fur, and it's not going to allow you to move the head side to side. You'll wiggle up and down, but that's the most you'll get out of it. But with this particular head sculpt, you can get him to look up. He will look down the tiniest bit, and you can turn side to side as long as you move that hair above that fur collar, and you can pivot a bit. So there's that. But yeah, with the other options, it's just kind of stuck. You have the shoulder pads that could rotate right there. I love that they took that Iron Man tech and added it to these shoulder pads, so that's cool. You can move the shoulders outward that much. You can move them in quite a bit. You could rotate a full 360, even though I choose not to do that because I don't want to move this ring underneath. So let's just say it can move up that much and back that much, which is far enough for me. You do have a bicep swivel in there. You do have rotation at the elbows. Oop, there goes the helmet. And it has a single jointed elbow. that bends in that far. We'll run into this cuff right over here, so you want to be mindful of that. You get rotation hinge. Well, we went over the wrist articulation already, but we don't have a diaphragm cut. We do have a waist joint right here that turns side to side. It does pivot quite a bit, so that allows for a lot of movement. Let's get this helmet back on there. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. Crunches forward quite a bit as well. Look how far that goes in there. So that's great how they designed that. That's very cool. It goes back a lot, so good range of movement, moving forward and back as well. I like how this whole loincloth piece is sculpted in a way where you can get the legs to move outward, and you can get him to kick forward a bit. I did get him sitting on the Sentinel Rock, so there he is, sitting on a Sentinel Rock, not looking too bad. So there's that other leg moving forward that much, so you can get him sitting down, which is good. The legs move back a little bit as well. There's an upper thigh cut in there. You have the pinless double jointed knees that bend in that much. No freaking boot rotation. What the hell, Hasbro? That bums me out so much. Why not? They did it with Astonishing Wolverine. They did it again with this Odin right here. What the hell is going on with that, Hasbro? Are you trying to resell this figure again later with boot rotation? Or did you guys just forget? I don't know, but I am frustrated regardless. That should be like the easiest thing to do. Why? Why? Anyway, ankles move down, ankles do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this Odin figure, you could see that he is standing, I want to say about just under 9 inches, around 9 inches tall. And then this headpiece right here, I guess make him... Well, now to measure out this Odin figure, you could see that he is standing at about 9 inches tall, maybe just a little under 9 inches. And then with the other headdress, I mean, I guess maybe he'll hit that 9-inch mark. It'll just make him a tiny bit taller. For an Odin comparison, you can see we have our very first ever Odin figure, the Build-A-Figure Odin. And then here's our MCU Odin. And then there's my guinea pig Odin. Oh, I miss you, Odin. Asgardian figure comparison, I wanted to show off Odin next to the Boar figure from the exclusive set, and we also got Hela from that same set, if I remember correctly. She also has a soft goods cape. And then we have the 80 Years Thor, and then we have the Thor movie series Loki, which we just discussed in the last episode of Helisic Figs. I would love to see Hasbro remake a Loki with this design. The articulation on this figure is atrocious. However, the design, the aesthetics of this figure is my favorite for a Loki figure in my collection. Then with my wiki research, Hela is actually the daughter of Loki, not a daughter of Odin, but they changed it for the MCU. Then here's Odin next to the Marvel Legends Destroyer armor. And yeah, I wanted to do a head swap here to see if this Odin head will fit on here. Come on. Oh, no, it doesn't fit. I tried to get it on there. It's just resting on the top. I did heat up the head too, but yeah, that port's not fitting on there. You get it to rest on there. It looks a little bit weird. Or if you want to rip this dumbbell joint out, you could probably make that work just sitting on top of the neck. But yeah, it scales. It just doesn't port on like I hoped it would. Damn it. And because I just reviewed it yesterday and they cost the same, I wanted to compare Odin next to this Hulkbuster. And yeah, man, Hulkbuster's quite a bit larger. You get more accessories with the Odin. There is a lot more detail in the sculpts. There's a lot more mass to the Hulkbuster for sure. But I still feel like, yeah, them having about the same price point makes sense to me. I'm not bothered by that. And then here's Odin next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh man, it's the All-Father. Hopefully you can help me with this. Okay, so I'm not really a person. I'm just a light construct. So do you think you could use your godly powers and make me real? Huh? Oh, sweet. It's happening. All right. Ah! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to show some love by simply taking your thumb over to that like button. And if you are new here, well, you can shove that thumb right up the subscribe button too if you haven't already. And this figure is a lot of fun. I really do like it a lot. It looks freaking awesome, man. And I love the display options over here. I love going back and forth between the different heads to the point where I'm tempted to get another one. I kind of want to get a second one. I know I shouldn't do it. The logical, responsible side of my brain is telling me not to, but the overgrown child is saying, get two. You need two, right? You could put them in different displays, and it just looks so good. I want to see more of it in my dorkroom. Does that make any sense at all? It may not, but I think it looks awesome to the point where I want two of them, even though I know I shouldn't get two of them. So that's how good it looks to me. Anyway, now the articulation frustrates me, especially with the boot swivel. That doesn't make any sense. It actually really pissed me off when I first opened the figure. Couldn't believe it didn't have boot swivel. As I played with it more, it didn't bug me as much though. So I was still able to have a lot of fun with this figure. It's not 100% perfect, but I gotta say, just for me personally, I do like it more than the Hulkbuster. Again, I don't mind that it's priced around the same, or it has the same price point as the Hulkbuster. There's a lot going on here. I think it looks awesome. For me personally, and you guys know blue's my favorite color, love seeing this gold and blue scheme over here. At the price point, around 60 to 70 bucks after shipping and taxes and all that, I think it comes out closer to 70 bucks. I'm gonna give this Odin a sud rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you don't follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Yeah, this is supposed to look like leather. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.